Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Last night's rain has moved out, but there's more rain in our forecast for tonight. I'll show you how much we can see.
And phones off, the policy that would affect your child's classroom that Wake County leaders are considering today.
Help on the way. The equipment and crews traveling from across the state, including the Triangle, to support the fight against wildfires in the mountains.
Rivalry game ahead. UNC and Duke will square off in the next round of the NCAA Women's Tournament. Details about where and when they will have that Sweet 16 showdown. Yeah, it's happening. Battle of the Blues on the women's side. It's going to be great. I'm Jeff Hogan. Good to have you in on a Tuesday morning here.
And I'm Renee Chu. Great to have you. And let's get to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner as we see how our Tuesday is shaping up. Elizabeth.
You know, it's going to be a decent day. We had a cold front that moved through overnight last night. There was some rain with that. Skies are starting to clear, but with the moisture in the atmosphere and skies clearing, there may be some patchy fog. Conditions are right for that, but we're not really seeing a whole lot of it just yet. Another system just to our west, a fast mover is going to sweep through and bring us a chance of some rain overnight tonight. We take a look at the timeline. We could start to see that as early as around 8 to 9 p.m., lasting until around midnight. Likely to just see some showers out of this, and we'll talk about how much coming up. In downtown Raleigh right now, skies are mainly clear, 52 degrees. We have a southwest wind at around 3 miles per hour, and the winds are anywhere from about 3 to 5 to 7 miles per hour out of the southwest. Visibility currently looks good, but again, conditions are right for some fog to develop. It'll be a warmer day today. We'll see temperatures climbing into the low 70s. Expect partly cloudy skies during the afternoon, but don't forget about the rain tonight.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Covering Wake County, today a new policy on how your child can use their cell phone in the classroom gets a first look. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live at Wake County School headquarters this morning. And Kelsey, they're trying to form a district-wide policy to eliminate distractions.
Yes, Renee, today school leaders will talk about a policy that will impact your students' experience in the classroom. They'll meet here at the district headquarters later today to talk about the first draft of a new cell phone policy. The district is proposing that students should turn off their phones or put them on silent all day, with a few exceptions. State lawmakers are having conversations about requiring cell phone policies in every school district. 2 bills in the General Assembly include this, and they have a lot of bipartisan support. One will go before the House of Representatives later today. WRAL education insider Emily Walkenhorst explains how a Wake Schools policy would create a consistent protocol.
We know a ton of schools in Wake County individually restrict cell phone access during the school day. They have kind of their own ways of going about enforcing that. This would make it a district-wide policy.
School leaders will only offer feedback today. There's no plans for any type of vote, but they do plan to make sure that this policy would be on the books before next school year. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
Also happening today, Wake County Schools Superintendent Robert Taylor will hear feedback from the school board about his proposed budget increases and cuts. Taylor's proposing to cut several positions throughout the school system. That's so the school system can afford the cost of more students, new schools, and expected state pay increases. Today, the school board will weigh in on that proposal for the first time. Taylor is proposing once again to cut some positions that the school board saved last year, including full-time substitute teachers who work at specific schools. We have full reports on all these big updates that come out of today's school board meeting and how they'll affect your child's classroom experience. Watch WRAL News from 4 to 7:30 this evening.
A man who was shot on New Bern Avenue in Raleigh has died. 46-year-old Robert Lucas was shot Sunday morning near North Rogers Lane. He was rushed to the hospital. Police announced last night he died. They say the investigation is ongoing and no arrests have been made.
A man facing aggravated assault charges is awaiting extradition to Georgia after being arrested on I-85 in Granville County. A deputy pulled Markel Hewlett over last night for failing to move over. The deputy was alerted to Hewlett's charges in Georgia, and his canine partner also alerted to drugs in the car. In a search, no drugs were found, though, but the deputy says Hewlett had a concealed gun.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle at the U.S. Capitol, where you're looking live, say it is critical to learn exactly how a group chat about plans to bomb Yemen ended up including the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic. Multiple high-level officials appear to be on that text chain on the messaging app Signal. They include Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, and Vice President J.D. Vance. The texts include specifics of timing, targets, and weapons to bomb Houthi targets in Yemen.
They were running a war plan on a messaging app and didn't even know who was invited into the conversation.
If these detailed exchanges about coordinating military operations fell into the hands of America's enemies, it could get people killed.
Hegseth denies sending war plans. However, a spokesperson for the National Security Council says the message thread appears to be authentic.
Search crews will be in the Tar River for a 9th day today as they try to find a 7-year-old boy. The SBI says cadaver dogs found a spot of interest. Dogs are helping the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, Emergency Management, and other agencies in this search. The boy fell into the water last Monday and didn't resurface. Crews have been out there looking for him every day, hoping to bring his family some closure.
Crews from Orange County are headed to western North Carolina, where wildfires are burning thousands of acres in the mountains. The state is sending 5 brush trucks, 4 fire trucks, and 4 large trucks carrying water to help with the wildfires in Polk County. 45 firefighters are also making the trip, including 4 from the Orange Rural Fire Department. Steep terrain and damage from Helene are making the effort to control the fires that much more challenging.
Wildland fires are a challenge by themselves, and they're even more of a challenge when you have the terrains that our Western partners have to live with every day.
The crew was told to prepare to help support the effort for 7 days. After that, if help is still needed, other local firefighters may go to Polk County to take over for them. FEMA approved a grant to help contain the Table Rock and Persimmon fires in South Carolina. The federal assistance comes as those fires have burned more than 1,000 acres. The South Carolina Forestry Commission is worried about the low humidity and high winds. FEMA's grant is expected to cover a majority of expenses for personnel, equipment, and firefighting operations. Both North and South Carolina are under statewide burn bans.
Happening today, NC State will introduce its new men's basketball coach. Will Wade will be the next leader of the Wolfpack. WRAL's Laura Levine is at Reynolds Coliseum this morning. Wade certainly brings a track record of success to NC State. Laura, good morning.
Jeff, good morning. He sure does. And you know, the announcement came days ago, but today is the formal introduction. And it's all taking place here behind me at Reynolds Coliseum, where Will Wade will now be spending a whole lot of his time. We know that he has signed a 6-year deal to become the Pac's 21st leader of this basketball program. Now, Wade is coming from McNeese State from the Southland Conference, where he led the Cowboys to the big dance for the last 2 seasons. This year, he beat Clemson to move on to the round of 32 before they were eliminated by Purdue. Wade was experienced and has experience coaching a Power 4 team. He was at LSU from 2017 until 2022 when he was let go because of those allegations of recruiting violations. Now, again, Will Wade will be introduced here at Reynolds Coliseum. It's all taking place at 1 p.m. This is not open to the public. However, it will be live streamed. Now, fans will have an opportunity to take some photos and meet the next leader of this program at 3 o'clock here on campus. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
We will see a battle of the blues in the NCAA women's basketball tournament. 3-seed UNC will play 2-seed Duke in the round of 16 on Friday in Birmingham, Alabama. Tip-off will be at 2:30 p.m. The Tar Heels advanced with a 58-47 win over West Virginia last night at Carmichael Arena. They played Duke twice already this season, and each team has won once. Whoever wins this third matchup will advance to the tournament's round of 8 this weekend. The NC State Wolfpack is also on its way to the round of 16. They advanced with an 83-49 win over Michigan State yesterday at Reynolds Coliseum. They'll play LSU in the next round in Spokane, Washington. That game is scheduled for Friday night at 7.
Today, a lane of I-40 East in Durham will be closed as crews work to fix potholes there. The left lane will be closed between NC 751 and Fayetteville Road from 9 to 3 today. Drivers should allow for some extra time and use caution while passing through that work zone. 20 minutes before 5 on your Tuesday morning, big expansion. The plans for growth that would allow 100,000 more people a year to enjoy Marbles Kids Museum.
And DMV success. The turnout the agency is seeing for the self-service kiosks available at grocery stores across the state.
And we're in between storms right now as you are looking live at Fenton in Cary. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center tracking another round of rain that's expected to hit later today.
4:43. We do have the potential for rain tonight. It doesn't really pick up until right around or just after the evening commute and lasts until around midnight or so. We're going to talk about how much we'll see coming up. In the meantime, it's mostly clear right now here in downtown Durham, but we had rain last night, and so there's moisture around, enough for there to be some fog. Right now, our skies are clear, so we have the top of the tower lit in blue, but I do have my eye on the visibility. Right now, visibility is at 10 miles, which we would consider clear, but as that starts to fall through the morning, I'll let you know. Speaking of falling, temperatures not so bad this morning. 48 in Holly Springs, it's 47 in Cary and 48 in Garner. Temperatures will get colder the next few mornings. Our temperatures this afternoon will be comfortable. When the kids get off the bus, temperatures will be close to 70 degrees.
A family destination in downtown Raleigh is getting even bigger. Marbles Kids Museum plans to add 2 new stories and even more fun for families. Marbles released renderings yesterday for the largest expansion project in its history. It'll include a new immersive exhibit, a multi-purpose classroom, and a new rooftop exhibit. The new building would be able to serve 100,000 more visitors each year. Museum leaders say they need to expand capacity because demand is high.
We've gotten to the point where we're having to turn families away on really busy days, and that's just not the business that we want to be in.
A fundraising campaign for the project has raised $8.5 million. Officials say they still need another $500,000. The plan is to break ground later this year and open the doors in 2026.
Postmaster General Louis DeJoy resigned from the position. He has served in the position since 2020. His departure comes amid scrutiny from the Trump administration. President Trump floated plans to give the Secretary of Commerce oversight over the U.S. Postal Service. Right now, a board of directors oversees the agency.
Former UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez was sentenced to 5 years in prison for attempted murder. Velasquez pleaded no contest last year after being accused of shooting at a man during a high-speed chase in California. Velasquez accused the man of molesting his 4-year-old son. He's already served 3 years in prison, so he'll be eligible for release in 2 more years.
This morning, you can meet with Raleigh police officers and learn more about their work. RPD is reintroducing its Cops on the Block community engagement program. It aligns with new Chief Rico Boyce's strategic policies. Officers will meet with folks on Haywood Street from 9 to 10 this morning. Also this morning, the Raleigh Planning Commission will discuss zoning on a property being considered for development on Glenwood Avenue near Lake Ann Drive. The zoning code changes are considered to be consistent with the city's growth plans.
A major milestone for DMV self-service kiosks in North Carolina. Since its launch last March, 25,000 customers have used DMV services at select Harris Teeters in Wake, Mecklenburg, and Cumberland counties. Kiosk services include both driver's license and ID card renewals, along with vehicle registration renewals and property tax payments for new vehicles. The kiosk pilot is paid for by customer transaction fees.
Get those errands done while you're shopping for groceries. A lot more convenient. It is 4:47. Let's get to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner with a check on when we'll see rain again, although we'll stay dry for the morning for sure.
We will. It's not going to be an issue for the morning commute. The only thing that I'm expecting that we could see this morning is some patchy fog. The winds are fairly light, so we'll be watching for that. Here's the front that came through last night. Boy, it made for some really nice sleeping weather if you're like us and have to go to bed early. This high pressure system builds in just for today. today, keeping things dry during the daylight hours. And then another system comes sweeping through with a chance of rain overnight tonight. Almost the same sort of timeline. This is a look at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The rest of the day is going to look really nice, minus a little bit of fog. Could start to see a little rain in our north and western counties as early as 5 o'clock. Around 6 to 7, it starts to build in from Raleigh northward, and then it kind of swings through between 8 and 9. By the time we get to, say, 11 or 12, it's moving mostly out of the viewing area. Still a little bit of that lingering maybe through 1 a.m., and then it moves on out. And then it looks like it's going to be dry all the way up until the weekend. And we'll talk about the weekend in more detail coming up. Mainly clear here in downtown Raleigh right now, 52 degrees. Temperatures may drop into the upper 40s. We do have some cooler air on the way. Today will be comfortable with a high of around 70 or so, and then we cool off a little bit for Wednesday and Thursday, both in the morning and in the afternoon. Not going to be cold, just closer to normal. 45 Roxborough, 50 in Rocky Mount, 54 in Goldsboro. So a pleasant start this morning. 48 in Holly Springs, 49 in Apex, 47 Cary, 47 degrees in Wake Forest. So a jacket feels nice. Our winds this morning anywhere from calm up to maybe 5 to 7 miles per hour. Maybe strong enough to keep the fog from developing. If we have foggy conditions, if we have some wind, then it's hard for the fog to develop. On the other hand, gusty winds this afternoon mean we have a high brush fire risk again until 8 o'clock this evening, and that is for almost the entire viewing area. So another day you don't want to do any burning. I know we saw rain last night, but the Weather Service has issued this brush fire danger again for today. I expect the tree pollen to be high again. We've got that yellow pine pollen out there. It's not too bad yet, but it is about to ramp up. Our high temperatures will be in the low to mid 70s for this afternoon. Notice the chilly temperatures. Thursday in particular will likely drop down into the 30s on Thursday morning, and we have the potential for some frost in our northern counties. It's not a big risk for frost, but just a small threat with those temperatures in the upper 30s. After we get past Wednesday and Thursday that are a little cooler, looking at a high of 75 on Friday. Really warm over the weekend, but we'll talk about our next chance for some thunderstorms and our severe weather potential coming up.
Thanks, Elizabeth. What a pilot mishap here. The item that was left behind before taking off that forced a trans-Pacific flight to turn around hours after takeoff.
And in the next half hour, social media ban. The push happening today in the state legislature that would keep your child off apps until the age of 14.
.453 is the time right now on our Tuesday morning as we give you this live look at the WRAL newsroom in Fayetteville. Give a wave as you head by there. It is 51 degrees this morning, and a good morning to you. Country music stars head to Texas for a milestone celebration, and a Grammy-winning singer will make her big screen debut playing an icon. Ashley Dvorkin has a look at these stories in Hollywood Nation.
Country music stars celebrate. Cyrus makes an announcement, and Lizzo lands an iconic role in the Hollywood Nation. I'm about to throw my phone away. Lizzo will make her acting debut as the godmother of rock and roll. The Grammy-winning singer will portray gospel singer sister Rosetta Tharpe in the upcoming biopic Rosetta. Tharpe became a key figure in pioneering rock and roll. Lizzo will also co-produce the film. Miley Cyrus is releasing new music. The pop star announced her 9th album, Something Beautiful, will be out May 30th. Cyrus also shared the album's artwork on Instagram, revealing she co-produced the record and it will feature 13 new songs. Speaking of music, several country stars have lined up to celebrate the milestone 60th Academy of Country Music Awards. Blake Shelton, Eric Church, and Lainey Wilson are set to perform. Reba McEntire will host the show, taking place at the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas. It will stream live on Prime Video May 8th.
A Wake County deputy's run on NBC's The Voice has come to an end. Deputy Robert Hunter made a brief appearance in last night's battle round. This is where 2 contestants perform a duet, and the judges pick one of them to stay in the competition. Unfortunately, Hunter was not chosen to advance. When we interviewed Hunter last month, he encouraged his fans to chase their dreams and have confidence in themselves.
A new state-of-the-art mobile MRI unit is up and running in Wake County. Wake Radiology rolled this out to help reach more patients and communities and increase access. It features the latest MRI technology in a mobile setting, reducing scan times. In fact, most MRI scans take less than 15 minutes in this mobile unit, and it joins 2 others in Wake Radiology's fleet, operating 6 days a week.
A portrait of President Donald Trump that he says is unflattering will be removed from Colorado's state capitol. The portrait has been hanging there since 2019. The artist also painted President Barack Obama's portrait. Trump says Obama's looks wonderful, but claims his is purposefully distorted. Colorado's Republican leaders initiated the request for it to be removed.
A United Airlines flight ended up 6 hours behind schedule after one of the pilots forgot his passport. The flight left Los Angeles on Saturday, bound for Shanghai, with 257 passengers on board. It was in the air for about 2 hours when the pilots turned around and went to San Francisco. Another crew had to take over the flight. It took off again a few hours later.
Tobacco Road Showdown. UNC and Duke will tip off in the next round of the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament. Details of their upcoming game with a spot in the round of 8 on the line.
Schoolyard crackdown. How state lawmakers are working today to try to keep Delta 8 and similar products away from students. And we're experiencing some weather whiplash. This is a live look North Hills. Good morning to you. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is back after the break with what is causing us to go from the 30s into the 80s over the next few days.